Morning showers continue on and off as we go through the morning into the afternoon. We'll take a break, then we'll have thunderstorm activity returning by late day. More about that coming up in just a moment.
A trial begins this morning for a woman accused of killing a 6-year-old boy. The details ahead.
A manifesto and a hit list. New details on the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting suspect. King Charles and Queen Camilla arrive in Washington today. Why their visit is especially significant this year.
Streaming 24/7 on the News 8 Plus app. You're watching News 8 Now this morning.
Thank you for joining us this morning. I'm Alexandra Carter on this Monday, April 27th, last Monday of April already. It is 6 a.m. We'll start by getting a check on our forecast with meteorologist Art Jarrett. You might want to keep the umbrella handy today, right, Art?
Definitely, my friend. We had some dampened roadways right now getting over to areas right by Eau Claire. They're picking up some showers currently. You're holding on to more of that, really packing up all the way up to the north, going from the Twin Cities up towards the northern tier of the state. We'll also hold on right now. You can see, as I mentioned before, Eau Claire is, you can see the folks that are driving out there right now are in the little wet sprinkles to showers right now, on and off. You'll see a break coming back by the noon hour all the way to 3 o'clock for the day, and then eventually returning about 4 o'clock to 10 o'clock where strong storms could prevail once again. We'll hold on to the possibility of these light to moderate showers working in the area. These have had a little bit of thunderstorm activity, so they have a little heavier rainfall, but right now they're tracking out of the region or away from the region. The southern portion of it, though, is kind of pushing over Eau Claire, where a little thunderstorm activity has been edging closer to their downtown area. For now, though, we'll hold on to the morning showing on and off showers, giving way to Eau Claire. Similar conditions as well. We're having 50s widespread, winds up to at least 20 miles per hour, currently sustained. We'll also find ourselves with heavier rainfall coming up from the south, as you can see, working its way from Mason City going towards Prairie du Chien and the river. We'll also hold on to this. We get into the afternoon. We take a break between 1 and 2 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon, returning with 4 o'clock showers, while Eau Claire will be in the showers pretty much throughout the afternoon. We'll get into thunderstorm activity coming in again today, with temperatures from the middle 50s all the way to the middle 60s in the forecast, with an alert day for now going from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. near and south of I-90. Eventually, we'll see that kind of move up a little bit more so towards Eau Claire. You can see the thunderstorm activity working across the region there, and that is around 5 o'clock. This threat is no longer an enhanced risk. It is now a slight risk in yellow. That was over Prairie du Chien with the enhanced risk, but now that has changed. So I might get rid of the alert day for now. We're going to keep everything according to plan. So be safe, and as Alexander said, use an umbrella.
Thank you, Art. The suspect in the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting set to be arraigned today as we take a live look at the White House this morning. Officials say the 31-year-old wrote a manifesto and told family members he wanted to target administration officials. CBS News' Bradley Blackburn reports.
Moments after the sound of gunfire, Secret Service whisked President Trump, the First Lady, and other top officials out of the White House Correspondents' Dinner in a ballroom at the Washington Hilton.
We live in a crazy world.
Less than 24 hours later, the president sat down with CBS News 60 Minutes.
And they said, please go down on the floor. So I went down, and First Lady went down also.
The president posted video on social media of the suspect, 31-year-old Cole Allen, sprinting through a Secret Service checkpoint, and later images of him after his arrest. Investigators say the California teacher boarded a train from Los Angeles to Washington on Tuesday and checked into the Hilton Hotel on Friday. According to police, the suspect exchanged gunfire with law enforcement. Only one person was hit, a Secret Service agent in his bulletproof vest. Law enforcement sources say the alleged gunman intended to target the president and other government leaders, and that minutes before the shooting, he posted a so-called manifesto.
He's been going through a lot based on what he wrote. His brother complained about him, and I think reported him to the police, and his sister likewise complained about him. His family was very concerned. He was probably a pretty sick guy.
The suspect is expected to be arraigned in federal court today. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
This marks the third major assassination attempt against President Trump in less than 2 years. King Charles and Queen Camilla arrive in Washington today despite heightened security concerns following the shooting. Buckingham Palace confirming the 4-day state visit will go ahead as planned, marking the 250th anniversary of American independence.
But I'm hoping that hopefully the visit could repair some of the bonds and also help with the way that Americans feel about Europe lately.
The king and queen privately reached out to the Trumps to express their sympathies after the attack. Jury selection starts this morning in a case involving the death of a 6-year-old boy. News 8 Now, Seth Padilla is in the newsroom with more for us. Seth.
Alexandra, jury selection is set to begin today at 8:30 a.m. in the trial of Josie Dykman. Dykman faces 3 felony counts in the February 2023 death of Alex Xavier, known as A.J. Pedron. The charges include first-degree intentional homicide, child neglect, and physical abuse of a child. Prosecutors say Dykman was the only adult home when the 6-year-old became unresponsive. Prior concerns about the child's safety had been raised by witnesses before his death.
I suspect that this case is also going to be heavily dependent on expert testimony. You have the death of a child in a home. There is not a witness to what occurred other than potentially the defendant.
Now, before any testimony, attorneys first need a jury. The trial is expected to last up to 3 weeks. If convicted on the homicide charge, Dykman would face life in prison. Reporting live from the newsroom, Seth Padilla, News 8 Now this morning.
Thank you for that update, Seth. And Caledonia residents can weigh in on upcoming highway projects tomorrow night. A public Q&A from 5 to 7 at the Caledonia Municipal Auditorium covering proposed roundabout and resurfacing projects on Highway 44 and 76 slated for 2028. Catching up from the weekend in La Crosse, groups gathered for a community rally in support of the LGBTQ community on the corner of Losey Boulevard and State Road.
It's important to show our support for the community, for all people, because certain people are marginalized and hear a lot of bad things, and we want to let them know that they are supportive and they're loved, and we want them to be happy.
Organizers add they're rallying against discrimination of LGBTQ groups. The time now is 6:06. Still ahead on your morning news. Oil prices are climbing. The standoff driving them higher shows no signs of ending. We'll tell you what that could mean for your wallet. Plus, how much would you pay to watch the World Cup? The resale prices that are stopping people in their tracks.
Before FaceTime, texting, and cell phones, there was something called ham radio. I'm Michael George with how a group of students is embracing technology more than 100 years old.
Spring is in the air at Home Furniture. Right now, get up to 15% off sale prices on bedrooms, living rooms, dining rooms, and mattresses. Plus, get 3-year special financing. The spring sale at Home Furniture ends Monday.
We're an implant-focused practice. I think the advantage of a father-daughter practice is, I've been at this for 30 years now. I learned things that worked well and things that didn't work so well.
And it was fun to be able to just jump in and kind of complement that. I feel like it made both of us stronger. You don't expect it when you walk into a dental office. You don't expect the family aspect, but when you walk into our doors, we're going to give you that.
If you think you have a full mouth of challenges, come see us. Come down for a free consultation.
It's time to vote for Best of La Crosse County. Pick your favorites in each category now through April 30th. We'll announce all of the winners on June 1st. Go to bestoflacrossecounty.com.
Presented by River Valley Remodelers.
When you need shockingly good service, call Sparks Electric in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Guaranteed to call you back within 1 business day. Sparks Electric. Sparking confidence, powering peace of mind.
Style or substance. Somehow, it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra. Or just announced, get a total value of over $7,100 on the Sierra 1500 model. Plus get $3,000 trade allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
We're all paying more. Utility bills are through the roof. Now, gas prices. And Congressman Derek Van Orden is making it worse. Derek Van Orden voted to slash clean energy production, raising energy costs. Electricity costs could go up $300 a year in Wisconsin. And Derek Van Orden voted to support the war in Iran that's causing gas prices to skyrocket. Tell Congressman Derek Van Orden, stop raising energy costs.
Find happiness. Find something familiar and new. Find connection. Find culture. Find community. Find yourself at the La Crosse Symphony.
Get your tickets now for Andre Returns on May 2nd, sponsored by TrustPoint at lacrossesymphony.org.
It's the spring patio sale at Home Seasonal Concepts. Right now, get up to 15% off sale prices on porch and patio, plus 3-year special financing. The spring patio sale going on now at Home Seasonal Concepts.
In your consumer news this morning, oil prices are up once again. Brent crude topping $107 a barrel. U.S. crude above 96. It comes as Iran is doubling down on its closure of the Strait of Hormuz, saying it will not return to its pre-war state. Peace talks are stalled as the war is now nearing 2 months. The 2026 FIFA World Cup is almost here, and resale ticket prices are going through the roof. On FIFA's resale site, tickets are going for as much as $2.3 million in the lower section behind a goal, and way up to the lowest listed ticket is $11,000. That one's way at the top, but fans are still buying them.
I think they were $400 or $500 a piece.
I think they were $450 each, and I paid $225 for parking. I think I pay a lot of money for everything these days, so I don't mind them getting to see a World Cup game.
The 2026 FIFA World Cup getting underway June 11th. Mountain Dew is going patriotic, rolling out limited edition American Dew cans and bottles to mark the nation's upcoming 250th anniversary. The rebranded bottles will hit major retailers now through the summer. Kids today have countless ways to connect, but at one school they're going old school, picking up a communication method popular in the 50s. Michael George introduces us to a group of teens learning about ham radio.
Calling the New York Long Island Student Skywarn Training Net. Good afternoon.
These Gen Z teens grew up with smartphones, FaceTime, and Zoom.
Spotter ID.
Spotter ID.
15. Stroke.
But in the Amateur Radio Club at Garden School in New York, students are learning how to voice chat the way people did 100 years before they were born. 16-year-old Tenzin is club president.
I did not know anything about radio before that. And I also find it cool that people they have been communicating like this before phones even existed.
But this is more than a hobby. The students give actual weather reports used by the National Weather Service.
Humidity is 57%.
And if you think ham radio is outdated, club moderator John Hale says think of storms or natural disasters when you can lose cell service.
During emergencies, during Sandy, the police stations went down and they were able to use amateur radios to try to keep the system running.
I asked the Amateur Radio Club members to teach me the basics.
Do you have any tips for how I should read, or you guys have done this before?
So basically we always start with the preamble first.
Good afternoon, this is K2GSG Stroke for Whiskey X-Ray 2 Lima, India.
Head of school Chris Herman says the learning goes beyond the novelty of radio.
I think there's academic value, there's soft skill values, there's the college application values, and generally it's just fun.
And it turns out communication is a skill that's timeless.
I'm not really that great with speaking with other people, so this club has taught me how to speak properly and clearly.
A lesson that's valuable on and off the air. Michael George, Charlie Bravo Sierra News, New York.
In the 9 years the Amateur Radio Club has been running, it's helped more than 100 students earn their radio licenses. That's a look at your consumer news. We will send it over now to Alpha Art. He's got an update on our forecast.
Thank you very much, Alexandra. Over and out. We get right back to Dallas. All shapes up for you. First form weather showing you some light to heavy rainfall in the forecast right now, going towards Eau Claire. You get the bottom tail of that right now, kind of brushing over you, currently moving out of the area. You're also seeing another batch coming up by Mason City. That's going to continue to track towards the Twin Cities and eventually make its move going between the Twin Cities and Eau Claire and Rice Lake. So we'll keep an eye on that. As we finish out the morning hours, we're expecting pretty much on and off showers. We'll also see Eau Claire right now has some light rainfall currently. Winona did have some showers earlier. They had some heavy rainfall around 4:30 this morning, and that's kind of backed off, while La Crosse picked up that first and then had some shower activity with dampened roadways. Now it's all drying out. We'll hold on to right now 50s pretty much in the forecast right now, upper 40s once you get into Medford, but we're going to see temperatures begin to cool down gradually as we go through later in the week. But this afternoon we'll get into the 60s, believe it or not, holding on to occasional showers, a break between 12 noon to 3 p.m. for areas along I-90, and then as we get into it, it will still hold on to strong storms coming in around the 4 o'clock to 10 o'clock this evening. All right, so this is all how it shapes up right now. Menominee has some wet roadways out there right now. You're seeing 51 degrees currently out there. We'll go right over to Onalaska. They're dry right now as well, but the roadways are dampened, as you can see. 55 degrees for you. Then we'll take it right back over to areas right by Toma. You're holding on to 52 degrees currently. You'll see again 9 miles of visibility. Winds are about 9 miles per hour. And of course, we're going to see as you're doing some vacation or even going to travel today somewhere for work, you're looking at snowfall up by Billings and Bismarck, a dry area as you go right into the west coast. You're also holding on to the possibility of warmer and hot conditions down to the south as you get into those 90s and the 80s. Eventually, as you go right into areas right by St. Louis, though, severe weather may be tracking into your region. You can see St. Louis is bullseye right there, going all the way up to La Crosse. We had part of that all the way up to us towards Prairie du Chien down to the south, but that is backed off. We're only seeing a slight risk of severe weather, as you can see from areas along I-90 and down to the south. Up along I-94, you're looking at a marginal risk, but you're getting most of the rainfall today, believe it or not, on and off showers that continue. Strong storms kick in by 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. And we're going to see if we're going to still have this happen for us, because right now the models are kind of showing we're going to get a weaker brand of storm activity. You can see most of which is staying west of the river. We'll go all the way through the showers, all the way to the morning hours. Then it kind of crosses over, moves into La Crosse, all the way along I-94, continues all the way through the 11 o'clock hour. Now, these are just showers, believe it or not. They'll continue on all the way out to Black River Falls and move out of the region gradually by the noon hour. Then we go into a dry slot down to the south, while Eau Claire still is in light to moderate rainfall. That continues on for them. Then we see, as we go right into it, thunderstorm activity starts to begin to move in across the river to the west as we go into 3 o'clock hour. By 4 o'clock, it's right on top of us, going all the way along I-90 all the way to I-94 with catching up to all that severe weather potential up there as well. Black River Falls all the way out to La Crosse and then down to the south as well. That will continue with thunderstorm activity during your evening commute. Once we get in the 6 o'clock hour, you're seeing a break come back again. We may see some on and off showers, but for now you're seeing a dry slot all the way to 7 o'clock hour. That's why I may get rid of the alert day, but you're seeing a few thunderstorms starting to pop up again by Black River Falls, all the way out there as you go through areas right outside of Monroe County and Jackson County. You're going to be seeing that continue on till about 10 o'clock. So we're seeing weak amounts of thunderstorm activity, but the models could update and things could change. Maybe up to about 1/4 of an inch to about 1 3/4 inches, possibly more with all the rainfall Eau Claire is getting. But you're seeing right now 60s in the forecast, leading into how this all shapes up. Cooler conditions lead into the forecast as we finish out the work week.
Thank you, Art. As you start to wake up this morning, leaving you with a beautiful shot of Atlantic City, New Jersey. Look at that. They are gearing up for a tourism boost this summer from the World Cup. Stay with us. We'll have more news after the morning sports blitz.
Coming up in sports, the latest from Minnesota as 2 of their starters down with injury. Plus, the Brewers looking to bounce back after hitting a bit of a slump. I've got the highlights coming up in the morning blitz.
This morning, the Josie Dykman trial begins, involving the death of 6-year-old AJ Pedrick. What you need to know about the trial coming up.
All the best mattresses are under one roof at PM Sleep Center. Tempur-Pedic, Beautyrest Black, Stearns & Foster, Sealy Posturepedic, and Serta Eye Comfort. Your best night's sleep starts at PM Sleep Center, giving La Crosse a good night's sleep for over 30 years.
I'm Tanya with Jim's Truck and Trailer Coachworks in Winona, Minnesota. Is your muffler loud or falling apart? Well, I'm here to let you know we have expanded our services with our new exhaust vendor. We can custom form exhausts to meet your needs. Give us a call today to set up an appointment. Jim's Truck and Trailer Coachworks. Repair, refinish, remarkable.
We really care about our employees and their families, and then also the community as a whole.
We have a lot of really, really good employees. It's like a family around here.
The customer is always number one. That's always our goal, to get them running.
Having Carrier as their main product, with the support that they give us, the commitment to their product, to our people, is outstanding.
From the first call that you make, we'll take care of you every step of the way.
And air conditioning, your comfort is our business.
Here's our problem. Without the hearing aids in, she can't hear the low frequencies, so she doesn't hear me. I don't hear the high frequencies, so I don't hear her. It was a perfect setup, but we had to interrupt it. We had time, and we were coming down Main Street, and I turned in.
It's not like you're going to strangers. It's kind of family-ish. To come here, you feel like you belong with them. I just think it's very comforting that they're a family business.
Better Hearing Center on Alaska, next to St. Pat's Church.
Be a part of keeping our rivers clean and vibrant. Join us Saturday, May 9th for the next river cleanup. Less trash in our water means more fun, more beauty, and more pride. Go to rivercleanuplacrosse.com to register and make a difference in our waterways.
All the best mattresses are under one roof at PM Sleep Center. Tempur-Pedic, Beautyrest Black, Stearns & Foster, Sealy Posturepedic, and Serta iComfort. Your best night's sleep starts at PM Sleep Center, giving lacrosse a good night's sleep for over 30 years.
Keeping you safe and ahead of the storm with current conditions and updated video forecasts from the local team that warns you first. The News 8 Now First Warn Weather app, giving you more than what you'd expect. Get it now. No, seriously, like, right now. News 8 Now Sports.
Brewers entered Sunday on a bit of a slump. 4 straight losses. They got just 1 hit on Friday and then lost in extra innings on Saturday night. But today was a new day. Chance to end the weekend strong. Let's go to American Family Field. Milwaukee looking to break out of their slump. 4th inning. Brewers already up 2-0, and with 2 on, David Hamilton gonna give this baseball a ride deep to right, off the wall. 1 run is in. Milwaukee goes up 3. Next batter, Brendan Lockridge steps up to the plate and he delivers. Little bloop shot into left field. That scores 2 more. Milwaukee goes up 5. And on the mound, Kyle Harrison was lights out. 6 innings pitched, gave up just 1 hit, 1 walk, and threw a career high 12 strikeouts. Have a day. Brewers back in the win column, 5-0. The final. Well, it was a roller coaster of emotions for the Minnesota Timberwolves on Saturday. Just over a minute into the game, Dante DiVincenzo suffered a torn Achilles tendon. DiVincenzo started all 82 games in the regular season and was a true warrior for Minnesota throughout the year. Then in the second quarter, Anthony Edwards, who had already been dealing with a knee injury, suffered a hyperextension and a bone bruise. He will likely be out for multiple weeks. But despite losing 2 starters, it was the Ayo Dosunmu show. He scored a career-high 43 points off the bench and put the team on his back, leading the Timberwolves to a 3-1 series lead. Minnesota traded for Ayo earlier this season, and now he's playing some of the best basketball of his life.
Living in the moment, having fun, I'm competing with my teammates each and every possession, trying to do whatever it takes to help the team win. But this definitely ranks, number 1.
I mean, he's really a gamer. Like, he just has met the moment since he's gotten here. The beginning of the series, you could see him trying to feel his way through it. And, obviously Game 3, his aggressiveness came out, and he just kept with it. Goes places quick. Unbelievable finisher, makes big shots, not afraid.
They're certainly going to need Ayo to play at this level if they want to close out the series. NBA teams are 285-13 when leading 3-1 in a series, but Minnesota now down 2 of their starters, which certainly opens the door for Denver. Game 5 for this series set for tonight at 9:30 on NBC. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
Spring is in the air at Home Furniture. Right now, get up to 15% off sale prices on bedrooms, living rooms, dining rooms, and mattresses. Plus, get 3-year special financing. The spring sale at Home Furniture ends Monday.
Get an 11% rebate on everything for your outdoor project at Menards. Shop the largest in-stock selection of AC2 pressure-treated lumber and thick decking. All easy to load into your vehicle in our drive-through lumber yard. Plus, get free estimates using our easy-to-use deck design program. Available in-store or on Menards.com. Get an 11% rebate on AC2 pressure-treated lumber and thick decking at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Password 1234.
Incorrect password.
Technology, am I right?
We need a new tech lead.
Listen to job for sponsored jobs.
Sponsor your job on Indeed and get matched with quality candidates when you need them most. Visit Indeed.com/hire now.
Sunken or uneven concrete only worsens with time due to changing seasons, stress on the slab, or poorly compacted soil. Your sunken concrete won't get better with time, but it will with our modern solutions. Choose American Waterworks.
Spring is a special time for farmers. It's a renewal of their commitment to their chosen lifestyle. You can support your local family farms this spring by purchasing Westby Creamery dairy products often. Stock up on fresh Westby French onion dip, award-winning cottage cheese, sweet cream butter, and other delicious dairy products. Visit the Westby Creamery cheese store on Main Street in Westby, or look for Westby Creamery products in the dairy case at your local grocery store.
The independent living is really nice because you have your own apartment and it's just like living at home.
Although I thought I was way too young to be moving in a place like this, finding Welcome Home was just like finding a home.
Live your life the way you want to and don't have to worry about all the other chores and insurance and things like that.
I like that we get a balanced meal.
Those little helps really help me to be independent.
Nothing bothered Biscuit more than stopping to switch from specs to sunglasses. Nora felt the same. So her optometrist, Dr. Sandra, made their walk smoother with these convenient lenses that automatically adjust with the light. You're welcome, Biscuit. Shopco Optical. Nora focused since 1987. People focused since 1978.
During the spring mattress sale at Home Sleep Express, get up to 10% off sale prices on Prana Sleep and Thomas Cole Sleep. Right now, get this Thomas Cole Aurora Queen for just $8.99. The spring mattress sale, now at Home Sleep Express.
Occasional showers still occurring this early morning with some dampened roadways. More about that coming up in just a moment.
A trial begins this morning for a woman accused of killing a 6-year-old boy. The details on that up next.
A manifesto and a hit list. New details on the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting suspect. Registration opens today for a lacrosse tradition supporting breast cancer survivors. We'll tell you how to get involved.
Streaming 24/7 on the News 8 Plus app. You're watching News 8 Now this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning. I'm Alexandra Carter. It is Monday, April 27th, 6:27 a.m. We'll start by getting a check on our forecast today with meteorologist Art Jarrett. Tracking some rain, a little bit of rain rolling in.
Yeah, in and out, my friend, holding on to that right now. I'm working from the Twin Cities, going all the way up to the northern portion of Minnesota as well as Wisconsin. We have a break for us right now for lacrosse, but that will soon change once we go through the late morning hours. So occasional showers for the morning hours, then by noon all the way to 3 p.m. We're looking at a dry break coming back again along I-90. We'll see eventually thunderstorm activity return once we get into the 4 o'clock hour all the way to 10 p.m. this evening with strong storms on the way. You're seeing another batch of that coming back again by Mason City with stronger storms working up through Iowa going towards the southern portions of Minnesota right now. We'll keep an eye on that, but for now we'll be in and out of the showers as you go for lacrosse. That goes all the way through the morning hours. Eau Claire will be in the showers as well. They've been doing pretty well thus far. In fact, they just ended this next round of showers showers there currently. We're holding on to some southerly winds right now, about 20 miles per hour. Those winds will kick back up as they go down just a little bit earlier in the afternoon and come back again late afternoon. Thunderstorm activity starting to work down to the south. As I mentioned, you can see severe weather is now picking up as you go along portions of Iowa, going in towards the region here locally eventually. We'll hold on to this afternoon with 66 degrees for La Crosse, and of course showers start to pick up as we go right into Eau Claire. You're going to be seeing more showers leaning through the afternoon all the way through the evening hours. How about today though? Temperatures from 55 all the way up to about 65 degrees in the forecast with an alert day for now, 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. tonight.
Thank you, Art. The suspect in the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting will be arraigned today as we take a live look at the White House this morning. Officials say the 31-year-old wrote a manifesto and told family members he wanted to target administration officials. CBS's Bradley Blackburn has the latest.
Moments after the sound of gunfire, Secret Service whisked President Trump, the First Lady, and other top officials out of the White House Correspondents' Dinner in a ballroom at the Washington Hilton.
We live in a crazy world.
Less than 24 hours later, the president sat down with CBS News 60 Minutes.
And they said, please go down on the floor. So I went down, and First Lady went down also.
The president posted video on social media of the suspect, 31-year-old Cole Allen, sprinting through a Secret Service checkpoint, and later images of him after his arrest. Investigators say the California teacher boarded a train from Los Angeles to Washington on Tuesday and checked into the Hilton Hotel on Friday. According to police, the suspect exchanged gunfire with law enforcement. Only one person was hit, a Secret Service agent in his bulletproof vest. Law enforcement sources say the alleged gunman intended to target the president and other government leaders, and that minutes before the shooting, he posted a so-called manifesto.
He's been going through a lot based on what he wrote. His brother complained about him, and I think reported him to the police, and his sister likewise complained about him. His family was very concerned. He was probably a pretty sick guy.
The suspect is expected to be arraigned in federal court today. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
This marks the third major assassination attempt against President Trump in less than 2 years. King Charles and Queen Camilla arrive in Washington today despite heightened security concerns following the shooting. Buckingham Palace confirming the 4-day state visit will go ahead as planned, marking the 250th anniversary of American independence.
I'm hoping that hopefully the visit could repair some of the bonds and also help with the way that Americans feel about Europe lately.
The King and Queen privately reached out to the Trumps to express their sympathies following the shooting. Jury selection begins this morning in a case involving the death of a 6-year-old boy. News 8 Now Seth Padilla is in the newsroom with those details. Good morning, Seth.
Good morning, Alexandra. Jury selection is set to begin today at 8:30 a.m. in the trial of Josie Dykeman. Now, Dykeman faces 3 felony counts in the February 2023 death of Alex Xavier, known as A.J. Pedron. The charges include first-degree intentional homicide, child neglect, and physical abuse of a child. Prosecutors say Dykeman was the only adult home when the 6-year-old became unresponsive. Prior concerns about the child's safety had been raised by witnesses before his death.
I suspect that this case is also going to be heavily dependent on expert testimony. You have the death of a child in a home. There is not a witness to what occurred other than potentially the defendant.
Before any testimony, attorneys first need a jury. Now, this trial is expected to last up to 3 weeks. If convicted on the homicide charge, Dykeman would face a life in prison. Reporting live from the newsroom, Seth Padilla, News 8 Now this morning.
Thank you, Seth. Caledonia residents can weigh in on upcoming highway projects tomorrow night. A public Q&A from 5 to 7 at the Caledonia Municipal Auditorium, covering proposed roundabout and resurfacing projects on highways 44 and 76. Those are slated for 2028. And catching up from the weekend around La Crosse, groups gathered for a community rally in support of the LGBTQ community. That took place on the corner of Losey and State Road.
It's important to show our support for the community, for all people, because certain people are marginalized and hear a lot of bad things, and we want to let them know that they are supportive and they're loved, and we want them to be happy.
Organizers add they're rallying against discrimination of LGBTQ groups. Westby crowned the new royalty for the 2026 Sit-in-Day My Season. That took place at the Westby Area Performing Arts Center, wrapping up the 2025 royalty year and kicking off the new one.
We are giving away our crowns to the next court, and this is very exciting because our year has come to an end.
We do a lot of volunteering and fundraising. Norwegian culture and how we showcase it throughout different towns.
And the winners are new royalty Princess Tessa Rumpy and first attendant Nevaeh Marsh. The annual festival celebrates Westby's Norwegian heritage. Spring migration is underway, and Chief Photographer Chuck Oadsma tagged along with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service for this week's eyepiece.
It is really a fun time of year to get out right now. I know I've explained this already to some of you, but we wanted to have you come before the leaves are fully grown. We're starting to see some of the early season songbirds returning, some of the marsh birds, woodpeckers. Well, we've been watching, there've been a few phoebes around that are up in the canopy of the trees here. And the one that just flew? That one that just flew, yeah. If you look for movement, you can see the tail wagging. Okay. Taking that moment to pause and look for movement. So if I am standing here and I hear a lot around me, but I'm not seeing anything, I'll make myself stop and kind of scan low, middle, high, and see if I can see the movement in the trees to be able to spot a bird. Joys for me is kind of that like mystery that you never know exactly what you're going to see. And even when I think I know something, I've realized that there's always more to learn and more to know. And that always keeps me interested in getting out to see what nature will provide today.
Okay, so 3/4 of the way, 75%, 80% of the way up the tree trunk. And there's an owl on the right side.
We're lucky that we have a lot of public land for folks to get out and explore, but there's so many tools available to you at your fingertips, like the Merlin app that we've been using to listen for birds. eBird will post lists of what other folks have seen. This is our first walk. We'll have one more at Goose Island, the Shady Maple Interpretive Trail. Wednesday, May 6th, it'll be an evening bird walk. Got that written down. Excellent. 6 to 7:30. Hope you can get out and enjoy the spring migration.
Before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
All right, Mara is 8 months old. Her grandmother says she's a lovely girl who adores her older sister.
Happy 8 months, and Shirley is 80. She has 17 siblings, loves bingo, and shopping with her grandkids.
All right, happy birthday, Shirley. If you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 weeks, 8 years, 18 months, or 80 years, well, we'd like to support them.
All right, just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button underneath our home tab. Coming up, registration opening today for a lacrosse tradition supporting breast cancer survivors. We'll tell you how you can get involved on Mindful Monday.
River City Grill in Winona is your place for great food and drinks every night of the week. Tuesday night is rib night. Get a half rack of barbecue ribs with baked beans, coleslaw, and cornbread for only $23.99, plus $1 off craft beer. See you soon at River City Grill in Winona.
Here at Schneider Heating, we have a huge emphasis on culture, getting along, working together. We follow through on our promises, and we get the job done.
We will do what we need to do to ensure that you are safe, comfortable, and happy.
We have a lot of veteran installers who really care and even more put their mind at ease by installing Carrier equipment.
We're not just putting in a furnace. You know, you're hiring the whole company. You're hiring our service department, our install department. Just a ton of experience. We're very helpful.
Get Spectrum fiber-powered internet free forever when you switch and add 4 mobile phone lines. Experience the fastest internet and most reliable 5G network forever. And save $1,000 on internet and mobile in your first year, guaranteed. That's the Spectrum Savings Guarantee. Call now or go online to save $1,000 on internet and mobile.
Bring on the spring at the Honda Spring Event. Take the road trip you've been dreaming of with an efficient new Honda. Turn heads with unmistakable style and sport-tuned suspension. all from the 2025 Kelley Blue Book Best Value brand. Right now, you can get a $279 per month lease or 2.99% APR on a 2026 HR-V all-wheel drive LX.
I've been boxing for 24 years, but a few years ago, my right hand had so much joint pain I couldn't punch with it. I couldn't even touch it without extreme pain. I tried surgery, physical therapy, strength training, but the pain never went away.
That's when Anthony found QC Kinetics, and their treatments changed everything.
The pain is virtually gone. I'm hitting the bag again for the first time in almost 9 years. I'm back to doing the things I love.
Join the thousands who have discovered real lasting relief from joint pain with QC Kinetics. Request a free consultation to find out if you're a candidate for this revolutionary treatment. If you're living with arthritis or pain in your shoulders, back, hips, or other joints, our treatments relieve the problem at its source. Isn't it time you get back in the ring? No surgery, no drugs, no downtime, just real relief. Request a free consultation to find out if you're a candidate today. Call QC Kinetics, 715-569-8589, 715-569-8589.
River City Grill in Winona is your place for great food and drinks every night of the week. Tuesday night is rib night. Get a half rack of barbecue ribs with baked beans, coleslaw, and cornbread for only $23.99, plus $1 off craft beer. See you soon at River City Grill in Winona.
New Wisconsin laws aim to stop child predators before abuse happens. The push comes after bombshell reports on hundreds of teacher investigations involving sexual misconduct. And news anchor Ken Kozarowski joins us this morning with more on how lawmakers are responding. Ken, it sounds like lawmakers are trying to close this gap.
Yeah, that was the big motivating factor here, and it has to do with the concept of grooming a child for sexual acts, which has grown in prevalence in the cultural zeitgeist that's kind of become more defined in recent years with the prevalence of the internet and social media and different ways for teachers to communicate with children. And the investigation that's at the crux of this legislation was done by the Cap Times out of Madison. From 2018 to 2023, they found that the state office that oversees the teacher licenses, the Department of Public Instruction, they investigated hundreds of teachers for grooming or other sexual misconduct claims, which was previously unknown to everyone. So what became an area of concern is the state actually didn't recognize grooming as an actual crime. They criminalized one-time sexual acts, which we've referred to as child enticement in the past, but nothing in the laws that cover a pattern of manipulation. So as of this month, just a week and a half ago, really, the governor signed legislation that makes grooming a child for sexual acts a felony, and it has rising penalties depending on what position of authority you have as an individual. So the more authority you potentially have over a child, the higher the penalty would be for grooming. And the lawmakers say while the focus to get this law in motion was around school misconduct, grooming can essentially happen anywhere in our society.
It certainly is applicable to schools, but it could be applicable to coaches, healthcare providers, childcare providers, your babysitter down the street.
So coming up tonight, my full report on how the laws should help law enforcement and those licensed regulators crack down on grooming in schools and beyond. But there is also a potential obstacle that could slow a factor in that process that we'll get into as well. So it's an interesting story.
Yeah, glad to see some action being taken there. Thank you for that, Ken.
For sure.
Yeah, stay with us. We'll be right back.
All right, welcome back to your local weather here, getting into rainfall potentially as we go through the morning hours here. For now, we're all holding on to a break going into areas down along I-90. Currently, we're seeing some showers still kind of moving out of I-94, going all the way up to Rusk County now and finishing out all the way to the northern tier of the state. We have another batch of moisture coming back again. You can see by Mason City, going between possibly Mankato as well as Rochester on the way to the Twin Cities, and it'll make its turn toward us as it gets a little bit more so going into the late morning. That's where we're going to get the biggest batch of rainfall until we get thunderstorm activity sneaking in by the time we get in the 4 o'clock time slot all the way to about 10 o'clock tonight. Hey, we're looking at drier conditions right now. Believe it or not, our roads have dried out. We're in the 60s and some 50s in the forecast right now. Well, we were in the 60s, now we're in the 50s now. We've cooled off a tad bit, holding on to temperatures now widespread in the 50s, currently holding on to at least up to 57 degrees. We get a dry break as we go right through the 12 o'clock hour to 3 p.m. That's mostly along I-90, and then you'll see Eau Claire holding on to rainfall as we finish out up there. As we go right into the 4 o'clock hour, we'll see more showers and storms start to move in again. As we start another batch of this moisture, we'll see some severe weather kick in, hence an alert day, 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. tonight. We're also going to see that near and south of I-90, holding on to at least strong storms and heavy rainfall. Now, some of the storm activity may reach all the way up towards Eau Claire as well on I-94, so bear that in mind. We'll go through the morning hours. By the 9 o'clock hour, that other batch I just showed you that's going to go between Mason City towards Mankato as well as Rochester starts to move closer to the river. As we go right into at least the 10 o'clock time slot, we'll see it across the river, getting into moderate rainfall, potentially all the way up along I-90, going all the way up to I-94. That continues on with another batch extending all the way up to Rice Lake and Rusk County. That continues to go widespread across the region all the way to the 11 o'clock hour. By noon, it starts to stretch its way eastward, almost out of the region barely, with some of that light rainfall finishing out before 12:30. Once we get into it, we'll see a dry slot kick back in as we go right, finish out the noon hour all the way into at least 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Then by 3 o'clock, another batch comes back in. Storms start to move in. They're still on the west side of the river, but they'll jump. We'll go that back again all the way to the 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock hour where thunderstorm activity starts to move in. You'll see light to moderate rainfall still happening up there by I-94. And once we get all the way into at least 5 o'clock, these storms start to split almost in three. You'll see that kind of move eastward out of the region gradually. And then we have a dry slot coming back again. And as that happens, the area of low pressure is way up there to the north, as you can see, north of Rice Lake. And that continues to push that frontal boundary out of the region and starts to dry us out as we go all the way into about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock hour. But you'll see more thunderstorms coming back again from the 7 o'clock hour all the way to the 8 o'clock hour. As you go east of areas right by Jackson County and Monroe County, you'll see that get out of the region by 10 o'clock. We should be done. So that's what's going to happen to finish out. Maybe at least about a quarter of an inch all the way up to about maybe 1 3/4 inches. For some of the folks that may get some heavier rainfall, they could see possibly up to 2 inches. We'll hold on to how this all shapes up with 60s in the forecast, middle 60s in the forecast, getting right back into it as you go all the way down to the south. Prairie du Chien, about 66 degrees. You go all the way out to the east, 63 degrees as you go out there, holding on to Black River Falls, similar conditions, 63 degrees. Osseo holding on to cloudier skies as well, but only some showers, not really in the storm activity. You'll see some of that happen again for other locations as well. As you go over to Neillsville, just showers. That continues to go all the way up to Thorpe as well. Back over to Eau Claire, you're looking at thunderstorm activity working there. And then mostly showers to finish out for everybody else up there. We'll hold on to maybe still a threat of tornadoes, maybe 1 or 2 large hail, still a possibly up to about 1/2 inch, going all the way up to at least high winds up between 60 and 70 miles per hour. And flooding is a possibility. We'll lean all the way into it with 66 with cooler conditions to finish out the work week.
Registration opens today for one of La Crosse's most beloved annual events, and it supports a cause close to many hearts. Here with more are Olivia Moats from Steppin' Out in Pink and Steppin' Out in Pink survivor advocate Jeanette Dawson with us this morning. Thank you, ladies, for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about Steppin' Out in Pink, what it does and what it supports.
Yeah, so Steppin' Out in Pink is Amplify Health by Gunderson's breast cancer annual fundraiser. It's a non-competitive walk. So it's not a race, but it's very fun and leisurely. It starts and ends at Riverside Park going through downtown. And not only is there a walk, but there's a vendor market, live entertainment, and we also have a special survivor breakfast for our breast cancer survivors.
Okay, great.
This has been going on for 21 years. How special is this event to the community?
I'm gonna let you take that one.
Well, having been the social worker working for breast cancer patients over the past 19 years, I've gotten to see firsthand how important this event is to both our patients in terms of camaraderie, but also in terms of the financial benefits of research and patient-specific resources.
Okay, yeah, it does a lot of good. I can imagine people going through that, seeing everybody come out, really is very heartwarming, and we know that it is. So, Jeanette, tell us a little bit more about your story and what an event like this means to you, a little bit more about that, what that means personally to you.
Sure. So, I have been the social worker for, like I said, 19 years, working with breast cancer patients, and unfortunately last year I was diagnosed myself from a routine mammogram. I am no different than any other woman that walks through the doors, and it was discovered that I had breast cancer. And so I have walked this journey with many women over the years, and so I kind of felt like I knew a little bit of what to expect. my coworkers now became my care team. So there was some transition in how all of that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so seeing the community come together in such a way, I'm sure it's very touching and emotional for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely.
So what can participants expect on September 12th at Riverside Park?
Yeah, so when they get to Riverside Park on September 12th, they can expect a lot of pink.
Yeah.
It's always just really high energy. People are always just so happy to be out supporting this cause that affects all of us in one way or another. And, you know, it's just so much fun. And, you know, luckily there's good weather, and so that's what we're always hoping for.
Yeah.
But not only are they there to, you know, just have a good time, but they know they're doing something good. So all of the money that, you know, we raise that day stays local to support breast cancer research and patients, like Jeanette mentioned, here at Amplify Health by Gunderson.
Okay.
Now, excuse my ignorance, though, but this can affect men too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, it can.
All right.
Absolutely. We have a handful of men every year who are also diagnosed with breast cancer. So it definitely affects men as well.
Okay, yeah, everybody in the community, we know that. And like you said, non-competitive, right? So you don't have to be a runner or, you know, ready to race. You can just come out and show your support.
That is correct. In fact, don't run, because that might kind of mess with the flow, right?
Right, yeah.
But no, it's very low stakes, low pressure. It's a 2.5-mile loop starting and ending at Riverside Park. It goes a little bit through our downtown community, so it's really fun to, you know, encourage our downtown businesses to get involved, and a lot of them do, which is really exciting. And we, you know, we'll keep our community updated on, you know, how different places are getting involved and what to expect that day. But overall, I mean, if you come to Riverside Park, and even if you're not registered beforehand, you can still come and show up and show your support.
Okay,
Yep.
and registration does open today. So how
That's
do we
right.
go about registering?
Yes, so registration, you can take care of that at steppinoutinpink.org. If you are not a in advance planner and you like to be a little more last minute, you can always register the day of the event at Riverside Park in our registration tent.
Okay.
However, right now the registration cost is $20, and so it's an early bird rate, so we encourage people to do it early and start fundraising, because also it's completely optional, but you can fundraise. So you can reach out to your community and your social network to, you know, get $5 from each of your friends and family members, and that impact would be huge.
Right,
Yep.
yeah, raise extra funds. Okay, well, ladies, thank you so much for being here with us this morning.
Thanks
we
for having
appreciate
us.
your
Thank you
time.
for having
Stay
us.
with us. We'll be right back.
I'm Nate Burleson. Coming up on CBS Mornings, Eve Plum will join us. She played Jan on the 70s TV classic The Brady Bunch, and she has a new memoir with behind-the-scenes details of her time on the show. That's coming up on CBS Mornings.
TJR Home Improvements is your local all-inclusive remodeler, delivering quality work from kitchens and bathrooms to full remodels, new construction, and outdoor living spaces. Backed by 5-star reviews and known for responsive, clear communication. TJR Improvements, bringing your vision to life start to finish.
Honey, for dinner, do you want mac or cheese?
For your birthday party, you can have fun or games.
Are you ready to rock or roll?
We want both.
Don't settle for or. M3 is your yes and insurance partner. World-class expertise, yes, and individual attention. Don't settle for anything less than yes and.
At Bethany St. Joseph, we understand that home is more than just a place, it's a feeling. That's why our team works to provide trusted support and an uplifting environment. In our assisted living communities, you'll find neighbors who become friends and days that inspire life, hope, and healing. Discover the warmth and support that make Bethany St. Joseph communities more than just a place to live. They are a place to thrive. We look forward to meeting you.
Bobby, are you there? I heard all this noise and then I was thinking you dropped the connection. But I'm a little worried. Honey, are you all right? Bobby, I hear sirens. Bobby, what's going on? Please answer me. Oh God, Bobby, no.
Dental implants are often the best solution to severe dental issues. If you have infection in your mouth, it does cause trouble other places. A lot of people ignore infection for way too long. And when they finally do something about it, they say not only do they like what they did here, but they feel better overall. In the end, you can have a smile you're proud of and a very healthy mouth.
We're an implant-focused practice. If you think you have a full mouth of challenges, come see us. Come down for a free consultation.
TJR Home Improvements is your local all-inclusive general contractor, delivering quality work from kitchens and bathrooms to full remodels, new construction, and outdoor living spaces. Backed by 5-star reviews and known for responsive, clear communication. TJR Improvements, bringing your vision to life start to finish.
What is a hero? Not the kind from comic books and movies, saving the day. We're talking about everyday heroes, those with a special kind of courage or ability, those saving the day, one person at a time. News 8 Now wants to find those heroes and thank them for bettering our community. Go to news8000.com, click on Features, then Hometown Heroes to nominate someone you feel is truly a hometown hero. The First Warn Weather app. Download it today.
Election is set to begin today at 8:30 a.m. in the trial of Josie Dykeman. Now, Dykeman faces 3 felony counts in the February 2023 death of Alex Xavier, known as AJ Pedron. The charges include first-degree intentional homicide, child neglect, and physical abuse of a child. Prosecutors say Dykeman was the only adult home when the 6-year-old became unresponsive. Prior concerns about the child's safety had been raised by witnesses before his death.
I suspect that this case is also going to be heavily dependent on expert testimony. You have the death of a child in a home. There is not a witness to what occurred other than potentially the defendant.
Before any testimony, attorneys first need a jury. Reporting live in the newsroom, Seth Padilla, News 8 Now this morning.
Law enforcement is continuing its investigation into the White House correspondent dinner shooting. Officials say the 31-year-old suspect wrote a manifesto targeting Trump administration officials. The suspect exchanged gunfire with law enforcement. A Secret Service agent was hit in his bulletproof vest.
Started walking with him. I started walking, and then said, please go down on the floor. So I went down, and First Lady went down also.
The suspect is expected to be arraigned in federal court today. King Charles and Queen Camilla arrive in Washington today, despite heightened security following the shooting. Buckingham Palace confirming the 4-day state visit will go ahead as planned, marking the 250th anniversary of American independence. The King and Queen privately reached out to the Trumps after the shooting. A backyard sauna is bringing Wisconsin women together in a big way. Paige Hammond invited neighbors to join her, and more than 60 women showed up. Now she's launched a community website to keep the connections going beyond the backyard. I love the sauna hats that they wear. Definitely need that after our Wisconsin winters.
I heard that. Wow, that's cool, man. All right, so we get right back into it here. We're holding on to rainfall as we go through the morning hours for both areas along I-94 as well as I-90. Then as we get into the late morning hours, that will be some heavy rainfall sneaking in. Getting into the afternoon, though, after a break between 12 and 3, we'll see an alert day kick in between 4 p.m. and 10 p.m. this evening and tonight. Risks to maybe a tornado or two, a large hail, possibly high winds, as well as flooding potential in the forecast. Leading into this, though, alert day for this evening and tonight, holding on to 66-degree temperature with a 100% chance of rainfall. Drier as we finish out the work week with cooler conditions on the way. Be safe and have a wonderful day.
All right, keep that umbrella handy. Thank you for that, Art. Thank you for waking up with us. We'll see you back here at noon.